it's me, amarijasz. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys how I got into fashion school with no portfolio, with no cover letter. Okay, yeah. How I got into fashion school with no portfolio, no prior history, no sewing capability, and how I got accepted into a BFA fashion design program. If you're interested, keep watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I go to Academy of Art University. I've been going there since February 2022. And before them, I went to Aspen. I think that was the name of the school. I went to Aspen University, and then before them, I went to a SUNY college in New York City, and that was University of Albany, New York. Right, so that's basically my educational background prior to going to the Academy of Art University. And it's a little bit froggy because I don't really remember it, but I'm just gonna break it down in multiple steps. My background, my application process, the response, the faculty, the admissions people, and overall capability of being accepted in a student and how I became a student. Okay, so first thing, application process and prior background. Prior background, I have no experience other than just being obsessed and in love and knowledgeable and up to date, and I would say fashion enthusiast. I have no background at that time in fashion, and when I think about it, it's actually majority God, even though probably no one wants to hear that. But thinking about it, I didn't have a portfolio. I didn't know how to sew. I didn't have a portfolio. I didn't know how to sketch. I didn't know, I knew how to do mood boards, but I didn't literally know how to do a mood board. I didn't know how to drape. I didn't know anything about actually making clothes, making pieces. In high school, I couldn't even get in any like fashion or art class. We had graphic design courses, we had art courses. I wasn't even in any of those. Like, only proof of my love and appreciation for fashion was my resume, my resume, because I had nothing to back up. You know, if I feel like now with all the experience, all the things that I do, all of everything that has happened since then, I feel like me going and getting, but that's besides the point. Basically, overall, I had no prior background and knowledge about fashion and fashion school and fashion anything. So yeah, but I do feel like my high school career really helped me look like a great candidate for their school. My grades were AB honor roll in college. In high school. I was AB honor roll. I was Miss Acting. I was in chorus for 4 years. You know, I think I had a well-rounded application. I had good grades, I was involved in school, and I had a well-rounded, even though I wasn't in fashion. You know, I didn't take any fashion courses. I didn't have a portfolio. I didn't have a essay. I don't think I wrote an essay. I feel like I still looked it like I was someone that would be a great addition and someone that they can teach you about and educate you about, if that makes sense. So yeah, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit of why like I decided to apply and basically my background. So prior to them, straight out of high school, I went to Academy of Art. I mean, not Academy. I went to SUNY College in New York. So my main goal and purpose of strictly applying to SUNY colleges and colleges in New York was so I can go to New York, so I can be in the fashion industry, you know. But yeah, and I applied under a business administration, and I was there for like, I want to say I was there for 2 or 3 semesters. I really think I was there for 2 semesters, but that's besides the point. I was there for 2 semesters, I believe. Yeah, I think I was there for 2 semesters. I was there for 2 semesters under a business administration degree. And that looks good too. That looks good too. You know, and then I also was on a dean scholarship. So I got accepted into University of Albany. I got a dean scholarship and got some extra money and some more money, right? So I was basically good, you know. And if I tell this to my new school that I applied to, all those things look good. So basically I feel like my academic is what really pushed me and made me look like a good candidate, made me worth the while of being entertained by the admissions office. I feel like if I had no good solid educational accomplishments and achievements, and I was just fresh out of high school, no activities, no just C's and B's, you know, average Joe, I don't think I really would have stood out, to be honest. But I think my education and my student accolades in college in high school really made me stand out for the admissions people. And after the Academy of Art, I keep saying Academy of Art. After SUNY, I went to Aspen University, and I did that as well, still with the whole business. But it was when I was at Aspen, and same at SUNY, like it was really difficult for me to be engaged and entertain and care about the courses, about the school, the curriculum, anything. Even though of course fashion it's definitely a business more so than anything. I mean, of course everyone here loves fashion, appreciates fashion, recognizes its impact on society and art form, you know. But at the core, you know, what keeps it running, what keeps the fashion shows going, what keeps the stores selling is business. It's a business first and everything else second. And that's why I initially went to those colleges, because I had this idea that, oh, I can learn how to create and design and get into the industry on my own. I don't need college, you know, I can do this on my own, and I can just learn the business aspect in college, which is cute. But I think my passion and for fashion and the longing to know more and really be engrossed in that made it difficult for me to entertain anything else. You know, if I knew like I want to be in fashion, and like these business courses, they're not talking about fashion, you know, they're talking about business in a general sense. And business is so wide. Business can mean so many things, you know. And I just really wanted to focus on my industry and what I wanted to do, you know. So that's when I decided, you know what, I love fashion too much. I love this too much. Everything else is not grasping my attention. I'm not focused. I'm not engaged. I'm not interested. So I just need to go where I know where I will succeed. So from there, I went on a hunt. You know, I went on a hunt and I searched up basically all the schools. And we know FIT, Parsons, and then there's so many schools. There's so many amazing schools. But I also wanted to make sure it was a school that would accept me. It was a school that was accredited. You know, and fashion industry there's so many layers to fashion, and there's so many fashion schools and fashion colleges that you can attend, but all those may not be respected or acknowledged within the industry. And that's why I love Academy of Art, because yes, it may not be FIT or Parsons, but it still is a school that's respected. They go to New York Fashion Week, they go to Paris Fashion Week, they are part of the LVMH scholarship programs and all these other amazing programs and CFDA programs for their students. You know, they've had Valentino come to their school. You know, they are a fashion school. You know, they're not just a regular state university with a fashion program that no one knows about. They're a fashion university. They're a fashion school first. They're art school first. So that's what I love, and that's what I respected, and that's why it was so important to me. But also I love the fact that they focus. And I read so much on this school prior to applying. I read so much on to make sure that this is going to be a good fit for me, not only for the educational, because I wanted a school that can teach me, that wasn't expecting me to come in on expert level or expecting me to come in on intermediate. I love that they were accepting students who were at beginner stage, and had the approach of, I'm going to teach you. You're a student, you're coming to college to learn. I'm going to teach you how to draw, I'm going to teach you how to sew, I'm going to teach you how to drape, I'm going to teach you how to build collections from start to finish. I'm going to teach you how to move an idea to actual garment. So that is what got me engaged. I realized it's a school that's respected. It's a school that, cares about their students. It's a school that has a really in-depth and peculiar curriculum. And I feel like this is a school where I can grow and where they'll give me a shot. It's not a school where it's a literal Shark Tank and where everyone is scratching each other's faces to get the best internship, to get the best this, the best that. Everyone's out to get each other instead of everyone on the same playing field. And I feel like at my university, I feel like everyone was at and is at the same playing field, and the opportunities are available for everyone. I've never been a student at FIT or Parsons or any other university, but I know how competitive it is there. And that competitiveness, I don't really feel that like clawingness aspect at my school. So yeah, that was my introduction to the school and my prior background. And at that point, I was just working, like, that was my first ever, and it's so crazy, evolution is so amazing, but that was my first ever, like, what at the time I was working at Marshall's. And now I work at Michael Kors, which is crazy because prior to Marshall's, I didn't even like think I could even get a retail job, which is insane, but besides the point. So it's not like I had this crazy, oh my God, working here. I didn't have a killer resume. I think I was 19 years old. Was I? Yeah, I was 19 years old. I was 19 years old, only one retail job, killer background in university. And that's, I feel like, what got me the shot. From there, I made the internal decision. And then after that, I went on their school. I would stalk their school for like a good minute. I stalked their school for probably like a few days, and I spoke with my friends, spoke with my family, and I just came to the conclusion, this is what I want to do, and I decided on fashion design because I felt like that would be the most challenging for me. I don't know. I love being the best. I love being the best. I love pushing myself. I love being in the highest position possible, in the position that comes with the most challenges, but yet the most reward. And I feel like all of the other because fashion is so big. You could be a fashion journalist, you can be a fashion buyer, you can be a fashion photographer, you can be an editorial makeup artist, you could be a fashion PR person, you could be a fashion marketer, fashion merchandising, working within the stores, you could be fashion business, fashion law. There's so many different sectors in fashion, but I felt like the one that made sense and was like a perfect match for me, like scrolling through all like the different careers, was fashion design. And fashion design just made the most sense because it made the most sense because everything else just felt too easy. In a less philosophical way, everything else felt too easy. Being a buyer didn't feel challenging. Being a photographer didn't feel challenging. Being a merchandiser or a marketer didn't feel challenging. I did it every day. I feel like all those aspects, I do that, like in my everyday life. Like, I can look and see if this was gonna be popular, if this was gonna sell. I can look and see and come up with an idea for a photo shoot. I feel like I didn't feel challenged, but to be able to take a concept, put it in a collection, and push it out, and continue to do that, continue to innovate and push and be in art, that's me. That's me. That's me. That's challenging, that's engaging, that's entertaining, and that's endless. And it's not restrictive, So that's where I decided, that's how I came to the resolution of basically in fashion, what degree, what program, fashion design. Now, what is the best program? What is the most affordable program? Because my school is based in San Francisco. I am based in Atlanta, Georgia, so I needed a school that would give me the ability to also do online. So just like all of these things, and academy just made the most sense. They made the most sense. They had so many benefits, and they were just over a perfect match. So from there, I went on their website, I filled out a form, and 2 days or the next day, I was on the phone with a representative from the school. And one thing that I love about them is that, and then of course I sent my grades. I had to send my grades for my high school, university, and that was basically it. And I was in, to be honest. That was basically it. I was basically in from there. But one thing that I do want to acknowledge that I would like everyone else knows, but my school is a for-profit university. So, and I feel like there's so many like mixed people. Like I've seen so many comments and so many different opinions about that. Some people think so they'll accept everyone, or some people think so that's why no one finishes, so they just take all their money and no one finish, blah 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 blah. But for me, I love for-profit. I love the for-profit because I feel like less biased. I feel like other colleges and other universities are more closed off and more family oriented, nepotism infused, and I feel like academy, if you put up, you got a spot. You put up, you pay, you do what you need to do, you got a spot and you can stay. To be honest, that's what I get there, and I respect that over some of your family getting you the spot and you have no opportunity or no chance whatsoever. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, so after that, I sent them my grades, I filled out the form, I got on the phone, and I had someone working with me all the way until I got enrolled. And that was amazing, to be honest. Like every day they were on the phone, next update, this update, we got the grades, we have this, we're gonna enroll you, pay the money, this is the tuition, a file for the FAFSA. Like they were really engaged. They were really up on it, up to date, and on point, and even up to this day, they still are on point, they still are engaged, and they still are on the same. I don't ever feel like I need to check them, I need to call them, or they're calling me too much. I feel like we're on the same accord of being up to date and what we need to know when we need to know it. So I love that, and I've loved that, and that also made me feel good. Like, some schools are sketchy, they may not reach out to you, or you may have to keep calling or keep updating. That wasn't the case with them. I filled out that form. Ever since then, we were locked in. They was calling me, I was calling them, I was letting them know, I was emailing. It was up to date all the way until they passed me to the next representative, which was my advisor and my whatever, something else called. But yeah, so yeah, and that process from getting my grades, applying to the FAFSA, paying the money, probably was like, and in registering, probably was like, I know I was in school spring. So I must have started in fall. Yes. So it probably was like a month, 2 weeks to a month. It probably was like, yeah, it probably was like 2 weeks to a month. It was 2 weeks to a month to the whole process, from the first time I got on the phone to register me in my classes. So that was that. And then after that, I was passed to my representative, and we just got more in depth of who you are. Who are you, Jackson? Who are you? Where are you at? Do I need to put you in advanced drawing? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? And that's another thing that I see. One thing that I also like about this university is that they really match you to where you need to go, where you need to belong. One thing that I've noticed is that, like, being on campus and being like online is, they will place you where you need to be. You know, I feel like everyone's on a, no one wants their time to be wasted. I feel like the teacher, they don't want to teach someone who already knows, don't want to waste their breath, waste their time, and waste their energy on a seat that could be given to someone who needs to know, you know, versus someone who may be advanced, who may be skilled. You know, just might as well push you to the next, you know, area instead of just wasting time on you or going over something that you are already aware of, pretty much. So yeah, and I also love that, and I also respect that as well. So yeah, and when it was time for me to come up with my courses, I feel like okay, you're at this point. It wasn't, oh, bad, or oh, this. You're at this point, you're at this level. I'm going to get you courses and get you classes and build this whole thing to get you to the next point, correct? And then also, like, even with the teachers, I feel like that is a little bit true what they say on Reddit about the teachers pushing you and having high standards. Yes, that's very true. But I think that may just be college in general, but it is definitely true, especially at art school. And I know some people think, like, how can they judge you like that? No. There still is curriculum. There still is baseline. There still are rubrics. It's still a school. There still are standards that need to be abide by. I know people think fashion is I never think like, oh, fashion is an umbrella, and it's, yes, fashion is an umbrella, but the goal, I feel like the overall goal and objective is who can express themselves efficiently the best, efficiently, professionally, cleanly the best. The aesthetic doesn't have to be steamed clean, but the presentation, the execution, the knowledge, the background, who can do that the best, to where no one is left in question of who is this, who is that, who is this. I remember one of my professors said, if someone is looking at your mood board or looking at your this and they don't get it, that's not on them, that's on you. That means you didn't do a good enough job of expressing yourself articulately through whatever medium that is, whether it's visual, whether it is literature, whether it is outfit. You need to be able to express that to whoever is looking, you know, not if you know situation. So I also appreciate that as well. And after I got my courses situated, that was I think I started in spring 2022, and I had 2 courses. It was intro to fashion, I think. It was intro to fashion and art history, which were 2 amazing courses. But another thing, I'm gonna go in another depth, like what's it truly like being a fashion student at that school, and just in general. I'm gonna do a lot of different videos on this, but another like aspect of it was like how expensive like fashion school is. I feel like fashion school is way more expensive than regular college. Maybe if you're going for like to be a doctor, I mean, not even just about tuition, I mean, take away tuition, just about the supplies and materials that you need to create is like, it's a lot. It really is a lot. And that's one thing that I wasn't prepared for, but they do help you with that as well. Like, they send you a syllabus, and on the syllabus it's like a link, and on the link is a link to Blick, and that's like a full card of all the supplies that you need, and they have it broken down and what you definitely need, what's recommended, and what like some plus items, and broken down each sector. And they also like each module, it's like module 1 you'll need this ones, module 2 you should have these, module 3. So it's like for some people who can't get it all at one time, you can just kind of like gradually build up your supplies and materials. So I really like that as well about the university. So yeah, and after I was enrolled, after I was enrolled, got my things, I was a student and I was good to go by the grace of God. And right now I am still a student there. Obviously, I'm on my, if it's spring, if it's, what is it, about to be fall 2023. So I did spring, I did fall, yeah, I did spring, I did fall, I did spring, I did fall. So right now my 4th semester, all my 4 semesters, so basically 2 years. 2 years at this school. I've had some issues come up that are beyond the school, but yeah, I'm still on my quest of getting my bachelor's and eventually getting my master's in apparel and textile design. And it all started, and it's all going to start, and my career is going to progress. I'm going to grow as an artist because of this school, because of the education that I'm getting here and the opportunities that I'm getting from being there in person and being there online. And my overall thoughts about getting into the school and getting in a fashion school period is, you don't need all that you think you may need. And for me, when I was like thinking about going to fashion school, like even in high school, it was so intimidating. It was so intimidating because you're watching this person who's like literally Picasso. They're Picasso, they're Leonardo da Vinci, and you know you love fashion. You know you love fashion. You know you care about fashion. You know you have an eye for design, and you know in your spirit that you're an artist, but you have no evidence. You have nothing to show for it, you know. And fashion industry is so competitive, and it's so content. It's not even just content, it's so competitive, it's so aggressive, and it's so fast, and you need to be on point. So when you don't have all of the correct if you don't have the amazing cover letter, recommendation, portfolio, internship, even in college, you're not in these summer programs, you're not in all of these perfect to-do lists, you feel as if, how am I gonna get it? In fashion school, I'm not gonna lie to you, fashion school is expensive. It is expensive. It's very expensive to go to and experience, and it could be extremely intimidating to even attempt to do. But don't let them steal your spot. We need more perspectives, we need more points of views, we need more mediums, we need more diversity within the fashion artist, fashion design industry. You know, I feel like there is a pattern with point of view, pattern with designers, pattern with collection being put out. And don't let money, don't let your ego, don't let family, friends, spirit, or anyone stop you from doing what you love and doing what you want to do. Because for me, even now, like I kind of wish I would have just applied to fashion design school first, but I wouldn't be here, right? So if you find out when you're 21, if you're found out when you're 19, if you're found out when you're 33 that you want to do fashion design, do it. Do it. Just seriously do it. Literally do it. Literally do it. Just apply. And I highly recommend Academy of Art University. And if that don't work, find another. That don't work, find another. Go here, transfer. Just don't ever give up. Don't ever give up, and don't ever give in. Keep going. Because started at Marshall, no portfolio, no nothing, no background, no family that was into fashion, no family on New York Fashion Week, no nothing. Now, a lot of experience, a lot of everything. So if you believe in yourself and you have on your shoulders, you will succeed. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all the fashion girls, fashion enthusiasts. If you love this video, if you're from my school, if you're a fashion design student, comment down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.